These are the scariest Minecraft myths on the internet. Myths so terrifying, they will change everything you know about Minecraft. Creepers aren't actually scared of ocelots because they are undead ocelots.
Creepers aren't afraid of anything. No matter how stacked or invincible you may seem to be, you can always count on the creeper to try and blow you up. But we all know there's one thing that always stops a creeper in its tracks. Ocelots. It's one of the smallest mobs in Minecraft, and it seems to be invincible to the most explosive one. Is it a coincidence, or is there a much bigger reason behind this? What if I told you the reason creepers run away from ocelots is because they are on ocelots, just transformed? And what is their goal? To destroy every player in Minecraft. Now, why would they want to do that? I believe they want to restore balance in the Minecraft world itself. But this is when it gets interesting. They can respawn infinitely when they blow up as a creeper, but not if they die in their true form, an ocelot. I know it's a stretch, but I have some very bizarre proof that just might prove this theory. One might call it a game theory. But how many times have you been convinced that all hostile mobs were cleared out before going to sleep? Then, just as you go to sleep in your bed, a creeper conveniently shows up out of nowhere and kills you. Do you really think that's just a coincidence? Or was this your pet ocelot just waiting for the perfect moment to transform and commit murder? What if it wasn't a creeper from the beginning, but an ocelot that was able to more easily follow you unnoticed, and then strike you when you least expect it? But there is one final fact that makes this whole thing feel far more than just a theory. If you look up why creepers are afraid of ocelots, it will mention creepers hissing and the fact that ocelots hiss back. It claims that creepers don't like the hissing back, but doesn't that feel like a bad answer? I think this is their way of communicating to each other. Think about it. There's only 2 mobs in Minecraft that hiss. Ocelot, creeper. Are you seeing the connection here? I know this might seem like an attack on cats because I don't like them, but I'm telling you, this is like probably the most factual evidence I have so far. So please, bring out the netherite axes. I think we all know what we need to do.
The real reason the Illusioner was never added to Minecraft.
If you didn't know, the Illusioner is a mob that exists in the game scripts but was never officially added to Minecraft. If you go into creative mode and look for its spawn egg, you won't find it anywhere. The only way to find the Illusioner in-game is if you run a secret command. But why did Mojang put a stop to this mob officially being added? Well, it's rumored the Illusioner holds knowledge so dark and dangerous, even the developers were scared of him. So what secret was the Illusioner holding? In the past, I've spoken about the Woodland Mansions and what was really going on in there. As we discovered, there was a strong theory of their attempt to break out of the game. But that wasn't always the case. Mobs inside Woodland Mansions used to be normal mobs. So what changed? What persuaded these mobs or forced them? And how did they acquire this dark and dangerous knowledge about escaping the game? Was it a discovery in Minecraft? Or was it something that influenced everything they thought they knew? What if the Illusioner's first mission was that of pure evil? What if it convinced all intelligent mobs of a greater treasure outside of the game? One they never knew until the Illusioner manipulated and painted a world beyond Minecraft. Could these odd statues and items be that of the Illusioner? Maybe Mojang found this out and put a stop to their process in adding this terrifying mob to the game. But what if they couldn't cut it off before the damage was already done? Could the Illusioner actually hold the secrets to escaping Minecraft? At the end of it all, there's one thing we do know. This mob scared developers so bad, their only choice was to take it completely out of the game. But that doesn't mean he's gone forever. What act of revenge is he going to take on the developers? And most importantly, you and I, the players of the game.
There are secret creatures hidden in the Farlands.
We've all heard about the Farlands, a place at the edge of Minecraft, home to the most glitchy and unusual structures. Seeing this place makes you feel like you've entered another dimension. However, Minecraft eventually removed this place due to its unintended and disruptive behavior. What? But what if I told you it wasn't just because of its odd look? What if it was actually due to the mysterious and otherworldly creatures found hidden deep inside? I mean, it kind of makes sense, right? It's full of the unknown and pretty much abandoned. Wouldn't it make sense for it to be hiding secrets, including hidden entities? If Mojang wasn't trying to hide anything, then why the abrupt removal? Could this mean that they removed the Farlands because the ever-growing problem of these mysterious creatures? Numerous reports from early Minecraft players who journey to the far lands tell of the eerie experiences. Faint, ghostly whispers that seem to come out of nowhere, glimpses of strange shadows moving in the distance, and crazy things like floating blocks and possessed mobs. This proves something far more than we've been told. And that's not even half of what the players found here. Some players claim to have found bizarre intelligent structures in the Farlands, structures that could only exist if they were built. Much like the pyramids in real life, these structures serve no purpose to the game, seemingly to suggest that they were built by hidden entities. But the biggest proof of all are the accounts from the actual developers. Developers who had access to the actual code of Minecraft. Do you see where I'm going here? They claim to have discovered cryptic clues and files about the Farlands that hint at hidden secrets. This is proof that something is being hid about this place. And could these secrets be the mysterious creatures?
Hey everyone, editor here. A bit lost and not sure where I'm at, but I should tell you about firemerch.com and our chalk collection. Use the QR code below. Let's hope I make it out of here.
Why did Notch, the creator of Minecraft, sell it to Microsoft?
Notch, of course, being the creator of Minecraft, he made the most successful game of all time. Anybody can play this game and have so much fun. So why would he sell his beloved creation to a massive corporation? Marcus Persson, aka Notch, reportedly claims that he stepped away from Minecraft due to its overwhelming success. But what if there's more beneath the surface? Some people speculate that Minecraft is more than just a game because it's actually connected to parallel dimensions. All right, I know we're getting crazy here. Okay, what if Notch uncovered those secrets within his code early on? And what if one of those parallel dimensions is the one that we're living in right now? That's a lot of power for one person. And as we know, with great power comes great responsibility. Thank you, Uncle Ben. Think about it. Please, not just sudden departure from public life, his cryptic tweets, and the curious absence of any post-sale interviews. And there's one tweet in particular that has stood out from the rest to me. Dimensions merge, the game continues beyond the screen. Is Notch confirming this in a tweet that what we fear could actually be true? Did he accidentally create a pathway connecting Minecraft and the real world as well as other dimensions? Maybe the Nether and the End weren't only the dimensions he created. Of course, this might all be nothing, but there's more that backs my theory. Many players remember a time when Minecraft's world generation sometimes produced bizarre outcomes. Unexplained mechanics, Herobrine, and other scary myths we fear today were created from these creepy beginnings. Did the secrets Notch discover get out of control? Maybe it was too much for one man to protect, so he sold the game. Or maybe he was taken by the beings he created and is now trapped in another dimension. That's the craziest part of my theory, I swear. I'm gonna ask you one question, respond in the comments. When was the last time anyone has seen Marcus Persson?
Strays are protecting the most twisted secrets.
If you've journeyed into the snow biome, you've probably seen the stray almost just like a normal skeleton. It attacks you if you're too close, leaves you alone if you run away. But what if strays are far more than just aggressive mobs? Are they guarding something or someone? Some speculate that strays are protectors of a hidden passage, a gateway leading to a dimension far more haunting than the overworld. Where might this hidden passage be, you ask? If you dig deep below the snowy surface, you might find this secret passageway. But wait, this theory goes even deeper. Some speculate that the arrows they use tell a bigger story. Their arrows are cursed with Nether's twisted magic. Could this be a clue pointing to their dark origin inside of the Nether? The theory claims strays were exiled from the Nether, banished to the overworld as skeletal creatures. But why were they banished? What betrayal caused them to be forced out and cursed for all eternity? Again, some speculate the Nether was once a peaceful place, protected by a sealed barrier. No one could enter or cause harm to their world. That is, until greed corrupted a group of Nether protectors. Long ago, the strays were approached by an ancient species that swore riches beyond their imagination. The only problem? They were told they needed to leave the Nether to find them. The only way they could get there is through an experimental portal. That's right, a Nether portal. The strays, blinded by greed, created this portal only to discover it was just a trap. And this is when a war between two worlds began, and the end of the Nether as we once knew it was the result. The strays were then banished and cursed for all eternity to a place that was equally as cold and dark as their souls. Are they now guarding the portal that they once created? Is this all in hope and cope that one day they will be brought back to their true home?
This is the dark hidden past of the Nether Fortress.
Nether fortresses are terrifying, but this theory rivals even the scariest of myth. What if the Nether fortresses aren't just structures? What if they are a collection of dead adventurers who failed trying to conquer the Nether? I know it sounds nuts, but again, please hear me out. Just the atmosphere of the Nether Fortress feels eerie and haunting. Just listen closely in a fortress and you will hear some of the most spooky sound, faint footsteps, and even distant whispers will echo in this. Could it be that the fortress is fueled by the memories and emotions of adventurers who once walked these halls? Speaking of halls, have you ever opened a chest in a fortress? Find anything strange? Most of the times they hold pretty valuable loot, but sometimes they contain items that show a very personal history. Charred diaries, worn out armor, and even the occasional bone. Gah, gross. Could this be evidence proving the existence of fallen adventurers? And oddly enough, these tend to lead you directly to a blaze spawner. Why is that? Could these blazes be the spirits of the fallen adventurers, strategically placed where they died, cursed to respawn and fight their battles for all of eternity?
Drowned are cursed shipwreck survivors.
Oftentimes you can find them hovering around shipwrecks, instantly swarming you if you go nearby their shipwreck. But why? What if their goal isn't to kill you, but to protect you from something evil? This myth states that drowned are cursed shipwreck survivors. Theories online say long ago, a group of adventurers sailed a voyage in search for uncharted waters. Their goal was to find riches beyond their wildest dreams. It literally sounds like One Piece the anime. Through this journey, they found all sorts of treasures, but one final treasure caught their eye. They spotted a large ocean monument protected by mythical sea creatures that we know today as the Guardians. This monument was nothing like they had ever seen before. There was a sense of power behind this treasure that the voyagers had to have. They somehow managed to get through the Guardians and take the treasures, but they didn't anticipate what would happen next. The treasure was just a trap that unleashed the deadliest monster in the entire ocean. The Elder Guardian. Fighting for their lives, they barely made it back to their ship. It seemed like they were going to get away. But that's when the blast ripped through their ship, destroying any hope of escape. The travelers desperately tried to rescue the treasures that were sinking with the ship, but due to their greed, they fell into the ocean monster's trap. The Elder Guardian cursed them with something so dark, so evil, they would be paying for this mistake for all eternity. The adventurers were then transformed into the Drowned. Today, Drowned attack any intruder who get anywhere near their shipwrecks, desperately defending the stolen riches that cost them their human lives. But why do they protect their riches so aggressively? They can't even use them anymore, because I don't think they're actually attacking us. I think they're trying to stop us from making the same mistakes that cost them their lives forever.
The silent keepers of the Nether.
We've covered a lot about the Nether in this video, but the one thing we haven't touched on yet, who is controlling it? The Nether as we know it is a fiery place full of hostile creatures. Ghasts, blazes, pigmen, and the occasional enderman. But what if there was something that controlled every single one of them? Which brings me to my theory. An ancient civilization secretly observes and protects the Nether. Let me explain. Throughout the Nether, players often come across ruined structures that just don't make sense. Fortresses and bridges that appear to have been built by a massive intelligent force, but appear to have withered away over a long course of time. Does this hint at the presence of a forgotten civilization? If you don't believe me yet, I have even more proof. Many players have reported finding mysterious markings on Nether structures. It just so happens that none of those symbols or markings link back to any known in-game language. Could this prove the ancient origin? I know what you're thinking. Then where is this ancient civilization now? Well, some players claim to have stumbled upon hidden underground tunnels. These tunnels and chambers go deep within the Nether. Typically, you see natural formed tunnels the deeper you go. But these appear to have been intelligently created. It's like an entire group dug straight down to hide from everything else. And let's not even get into those distant sounds in the Nether. The whispering voices, the echoes of a lost language. It's like something is lurking just beyond where you can see. But how does this connect to our theory in the Nether? Well, everything has a creator. What if this ancient civilization was just that? A creator of Nether life. Maybe at first they created these deadly species as a way of protection, but quickly realized these evil mobs could not be controlled. This would have forced the civilization to flee and escape through tunnels never to be seen again. Or maybe they created these deadly mobs as a game of amusement? Maybe they did this for sport like the Romans did. A sport to watch all of us suffer the constant force of the deadly Nether.
The painful truth behind healing in Minecraft.
In Minecraft, myself and other players have always taken healing for granted. A simple chomp on some food and your hearts regenerate. But what if there's more to this process than meets the eye? What if healing is not just a convenient game mechanic, but a sinister reflection of a hidden reality? The theory states that every time you heal, you're actually subjecting your player to an unending cycle of torture simulation. You don't feel anything, but your player in-game feels everything. Whenever you take fall damage, it feels like their legs are being broken. When you jump into lava, it feels like their skin is melting from their bones. It's not real to you, but it feels real to them. I know it sounds crazy, but hear me out. Have you ever wondered why your character heals so quickly? Consuming food like an anime character? What if each bite is a dose of a virtual painkiller suppressing the agony of the torture simulation that never stops? The rapid regeneration could be the game's way of masking the horrifying ordeal happening behind the scenes. They're just video game characters, right? Wrong. Think about it. The unusual speed at which your character heals from critical injuries? Is this just a way the video game is programmed? No! It's actually a system designed to quickly reset the simulation. And what about the hunger bar? I believe this also takes on a sinister purpose as well. Your character's hunger bar could represent more than just a survival need. It might symbolize the pain threshold, with lower hunger indicating that the pain simulation is intensifying. Eating then becomes a desperate attempt to numb the excruciating pain. Have you ever really listened when your character eats? The chomping might sound innocent, but what if that's actually the sound of your character desperately trying to mask the pain? It's endless torture. As the player, you don't actually feel the pain your character does, but just imagine the mental anguish of your in-game character caught in the unending nightmare of pain and recovery, all for our convenience as a player.